Hey there, this is Julie Larson with CloudBloomers Web Design, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to optimize your blog post, or some people call it your on-page optimization. Alright, so in order to do that, we are logged in here into the dashboard of cloudbloomers.com, and I am under posts, all posts, and you can see I've got a bunch of posts here. The one we're going to work on is this one, and it's set up as a draft. I have purposely not published it yet because I want to optimize it first. Now, before we do any work, let's come over here, and you'll notice that I have a plugin here in my dashboard called SEO, and it's actually WordPress SEO by Yoast. And it is a plugin, it's a free plugin. They also have a premium version, but I use the free one, and it guides me through what I need to do to make the most of my post. If you'll notice this SEO column here, and there's a bunch of little dots here, and they're different colors. The goal with WordPress SEO is to go for the green. Alright, so you can see I've got a green one here, yellow. This is the gray. The gray ones are drafts that have not been optimized yet. I've got a bunch of greens down here. I was pretty good down there. But the yellows, for example, you're not always going to be able to get it to a green because your top priority is giving the user a good experience. And so you can kind of get carried away with optimizing things to where your article doesn't even really make sense because you're so focused on the keyword. So I don't want you to worry about that. Keep your first priority, the user experience, and then secondly, optimizing your post to the max. Also, the other thing is you definitely do want to optimize each one of your blog posts. In my opinion, if you're not optimizing them, then why are you even writing them? What's the point? Because you can have the best content ever, but if you don't optimize it so that people can find it, you've just kind of wasted your time. So make sure that you do optimize all of your blog posts. Alright, so let's come on over here to this blog post. I'm going to click on Edit. And I've already added it. I've actually added a video, I've added the content, and I've added an image, and I haven't done any formatting yet other than I've got some bullet points here. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on preview so that you can see what the blog post is looking like at this point. Okay, so it's there, it looks nice, but there's nothing other than the image that really draws your eye. There's nothing that's bold or a heading title or anything like that. Although I do have these cute little custom bullet points, and I can show you how to do that in another video. Alright, so let's come back here, and the first thing we're going to do is this blog post is about adding a blog post. So I'm going to come down here to WordPress SEO by Yoast, and it's going to coach me along the way here. So it's asking me for a focus keyword. Adding a blog post is right now my title, and this blog post is more about how to add a blog post. So my keyword, even though I use it singularly, is actually going to be made up of multiple words. How to add a blog post. A keyword can be multiple words, okay? Or a keyword phrase. So when I type that in there, WordPress SEO is grading what I've got so far, and it's telling me that I don't have an article heading, I don't have a page title using this focus keyword. So there's some things I'm going to want to go through and change in my blog post. I am getting the green here with I've got my phrase or keyword in the content 3 times, and I've also got it in my meta description. Before we go any further, let me show you what this is. So all of this right here is a snippet preview. When you're in the search engines, and especially on Google, you get search results, and they typically look like this. So this is actually your SEO title here, and then here's a link to your blog post or your website, And then this section here is called the meta description. All right. And Google limits how many characters are up in this first line. I think it's something like 69 or 70. Oh, here it is right here. 70 characters. And then it limits how much you can put in your meta description. See, once you've got too many, it goes to the ... So right there, the meta description will allow you to put in 156 characters. Now, when you are adding your meta description, keep in mind that this is what the search results is going to return, something like this. And you want your meta description to be compelling enough that the people will actually want to click on your link when they find you in the search results. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and address some of these issues we've got going on now. Currently, my article heading is adding a blog post. So I'm going to change that right now to how to add a blog post. And then I'm going to save the draft. Watch what happens when I save the draft. SEO, WordPress SEO is going to grade me here. Okay, I got a green right off the bat. All right, so I still have everything green here, but my page URL is, I still want to include my focus keyword in my page URL. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to change this, how, and then you separate each word with a hyphen to add a blog post. And click on OK. And I'm going to save that draft. I like to save everything frequently. Okay. All right, so now we've corrected it. We've got it in the page URL as well. All righty, so here is my focus keyword. And this is what WordPress SEO will generate automatically. However, I want to make my SEO title look a little bit different. I want to add something else in there. So I'm going to override it by typing in how to add a blog post. And then I like to separate my keywords with a little thing called a pipe. And if you hit the shift key and then you'll see a key right above the enter key, that will make that straight up and down pipe. And maybe, let's see, I want to add a second keyword. Now, I'm not really optimizing for the second keyword, but I'm going to add a second one anyway. Most blog posts, you only want to be targeting one keyword, possibly two on occasion, but for the most of the time, just one keyword. Although I am going to add something here as well. I'm going to add adding a blog post to WordPress. Okay, now when I did that, you can see I've only got 14 characters left. I'm going to add another post, and then I like to put my website at the very end. And I've gone over, so here's what's going to happen. You're not going to be able to see my website, but I'm not too worried about that. But I do like to include it at the end of all of my my SEO titles. I'm also going to redo my meta description. Okay, so in my meta description, I'm going to include my keyword, but I'm going to make it just a little bit different. This tutorial will show you step by step, how to add a blog post to your WordPress website, because I want people to clearly understand what this post is about if they actually click on it. And I want to include my keyword. I've still got some room here. I've still got 66 characters left, so I'm just going to keep on typing. Blogging is an excellent way to bring traffic to your website and get. Okay, as soon as I went to the get, it went to the ... I ran out of room. Okay, for adding meta keywords, you can add them here if you like. I have not added them in the past because at one point Google said that they weren't that important. I'm going to start adding them, so if you want, go ahead and add your meta keywords here. I'm going to go ahead and add a few now. How to add a blog post, WordPress. Okay, so I've added a few. And let me come up here and save my draft again. Come down here again, see what we've got. Okay, everything is still looking good. One thing I want to show you is we're going to come over here. This is a general optimization, but let's click over on page analysis and see if there's any other things that Yoast is recommending to improve my site. So I've got greens here. Here are some things. The yellows are so-so, and then here I could use much improvement. So it says the keyword density is 0.53%, which is low. So I could actually go in there, sprinkle my keyword in the article some more if it made sense. I usually don't worry about that too much because I don't want it to be over-optimized. The keyword for this page contains one or more stop words. Stop words are like the, and, a. I'm not worried about that either. No outbound links appear in this page. Consider adding some as appropriate. So if I wanted to put a link to another site, I could do that, but I don't really need to do that on this page. The specified meta description is over 156, so it did cut me off. Okay, I'm not too worried about that. Page title contains 76 characters, which is more than the viewable amount. Okay, again, it's telling me what I can do to correct that if I were worried about that. It tells you about your level of reading, and you want to always be writing to your audience, to the level of your audience. And then no subheading tags like H2 appear in the copy. Okay, let's look at that. All right, so that is something we can correct. So I haven't actually added any formatting. In your blog posts, the title, and probably on most themes, the title of the blog post is already going to be what they call a heading 1 or an H1 tag. So you don't have to worry about adding an H1, but you do want to add an H2 somewhere in your post. So I'm going to take this very first line, and this is going to be kind of like the heading of my post or the title of my post as well. And I'm going to make that an H2. All right, and save that, and let's just go down and check and see if that comment is still there. We go to page analysis. Okay, so that one, we did improve on that one. The rest of the stuff is pretty good. Now let me just take you through the blog post again. So let's preview this. When I have a blog post, I like to have some things that are either bolded or have titles. We just made this an H2, so that's showing up, bigger and bolder. But there's other places that I'd like to bring the eye to. So I'm going to make that bold. I'm going to make this bold. So I'm going to come back over here, highlight that, make it bold. Or I could even make it an H3 heading if I wanted. All right, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make it bold. I'm going to make this bold, and I'm going to make this bold, and then save. So those are all good. Next, we want to optimize our image or provide some alternate text for our image. I'm going to click over here, and when I click on the image, I can either delete it or I can come over here and edit the image. And that's exactly what I want to do. So this image is related to my blog post, and I want to include my keyword there. So I'm going to title it How to Add a Blog Post. And then I'm going to put a pipe there, and I'm going to put adding a blog post to WordPress. And then I'm going to add another pipe and have my site. And where this is going to show up is if for whatever reason my picture did not load on my blog post, there would be some, some alternate text. I need to put it down here. So let me copy that. So it's going to be the title of my image, and it's also going to be the alternate text. And you should include your keyword in your alternate text. So I'm going to update there, and we've got that optimized. The other thing is I like to try to almost always include some sort of an image in my blog post so that it looks nice on my blog page, and I'll show you what I mean there. By the way, see as I hover over the image now how my alternate text appears, the how to add a blog post. When I pull away, when I hover over, that's what happens on your website as well. So let me go ahead and click Save Draft. And I'm going to show you why you want to have an image. All right, so I am over here on my website, my blog page, which my blog page houses all of my different blog posts. And you can see most of my blog posts I've included some sort of an image. A few of them I haven't, and those just don't look as interesting. There's nothing that makes you really want to go to them unless you're actually reading. So it just makes it look a little bit more inviting so that they want to click and see more about your blog post when you include an image. Plus, it's another opportunity to use your keyword in the image. All right, so I think we are almost done here. A couple more things that I want to show you. You definitely want to categorize your blog post. So I've already got categories set up, and I showed you how to do that in a previous video, but I'm going to go through and see what this blog post pertains to, what categories, and check those off. So I'm going to uncheck uncategorized, and this has to do with SEO. Actually, the blog post itself does not have to do with SEO. The blog post itself has to do with blogging. And it is a tutorial. It's a WordPress blog post. It has to do with blogging and WordPress tutorial. So that's all I'm going to include for my categories there. You can use as many categories as the blog post pertains to. I'm going to add some tags, which is how to add a blog post, comma, and WordPress blogging. Okay, I'm just going to add a couple tags. And there they are. And I think we are good to go. I'm going to save the draft. And I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. And now when we come over to our blog, when I hit blog and this will refresh, we should see there's our blog post. And the other couple things I want to show you. when I click on the actual post, again, when I hover over the image, you can see our keyword is there and the rest of the title that we put in there, or alternate text that we put in there. When you come up to the top here and you hover, you can see that that's our keyword is up there as well. So I think this completes our how to optimize your blog post. Thank you. Bye-bye.